Good morning, everybody. I hope you're keeping really well. It's lovely to see you all again today, and I hope you are doing some fantastic learning at home. Just like before, we're loving seeing all of those things that are coming in through portfolio. So thank you for all your really hard work. It's super stuff to see. Now, we're going to do some English today, and we're going to have a look at a range of different books and texts because at the end of this term, we're going to be making our very own non-fiction text all about polar bears. Okay, because at the Yorkshire Wildlife Park, where they have got their very own polar bears, they are looking for a brand new piece of information they can use in their polar bear enclosure that tells everybody that goes there, all the visitors, all the information that they need to know. So today we're going to have a look at a range of different non-fiction and fiction texts to see what it means to have a non-fiction text. What does it actually mean? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a range of books that I've picked up from school, and I'm going to have a look and see whether I think that they're going to be fiction or non-fiction. And I want you guys to help me out with that as well, okay? So the first one I'm going to show you is a book that I read to you yesterday. So this one just here. So this is The Bear Who Went Boo, and it's written by David Walliams. Now, I wonder then, if you heard this story being read to you, or even if you didn't, have a look at the front cover. Do you think this book is going to be a story book? So it'd be fiction, which means that it's not real information. There might be some characters, they go on an adventure and they do things, but it's not real. It's not real. Or do you think it's going to be non-fiction, where it's going to be full of information and real facts and bits of knowledge that we can learn about, maybe about polar bears? What do you think? Do you think we'd learn lots about polar bears through this book? Let's have a little look. Now, I'm looking at the front cover and I'm thinking, straight away, I don't think polar bears really go boo, do you? Have you seen many polar bears going boo? They might jump on animals and pounce on them in the wild, but I bet they don't say boo to each other, really. And also, if I have a look at the illustrations on here, that doesn't look like a real picture of a polar bear. I bet if it was a non-fiction book, it would have a real picture of a polar bear right instead of a little drawing like this. As nice as it is, it'd still be a really good book to read, but I think it would be a fiction book. What do you guys think? So I have a little sneak peek in the book. So I'm going to just turn to one random page just here. Now I can see over here, it says, a wrinkly walrus wanted to top up his tan. He decided to sunbathe in the nude. Now, do you think really that walruses sit on the ice in the Arctic, sunbathing, getting all the rays of sun and getting a nice suntan? Does that sound like real information to you? No, I don't think so. I think this is going to be a fiction book. It's a very nice book, though. If you want to have a chance to read it, have a look at my video online. And I still learned quite a lot of things about the Arctic from it. I learned about the different animals that were there. I could see some of the language that we're using, like glaciers and ice shelf, all of that really important stuff. But it didn't really give me much information about what an ice shelf was or what a glacier was. So if I wanted to find out some more information about the Arctic, I would need to find myself a non-fiction book. So let me have a look in my other pile. I'll take a picture of some of these books so you guys can sort them out and see. I know, this one might be a good one. Okay, I'm going to show you this book just here. And I want you to have a think. Do you think it's going to be a fiction book or a non-fiction book? Now remember, fiction means that it's going to be a story. It's not going to be real information. Whereas non-fiction means it's going to be very informative, which means it's going to give you lots of information and you're going to learn lots of facts about things from it. So this book then is called Polar Lands. Have a look at that front cover just there. Now the title then, Polar Lands. Do you think that's going to be a story if it's called Polar Lands? It might be. It might be. We're not too sure. Up here I can see it says about life cycles. I can see a picture of an egg. I can see a picture of a penguin and a penguin getting older and an adult penguin. Maybe. Make a prediction. What do you think this book could be about? I think it might be about different animals when they grow up and what happens in them in their life cycle. So when they start off from being a baby and being born to growing up and maybe even to dying as well. I think that's what it might be about. And when I look at the pictures here and here, now instead of them being illustrations, just like The Bear Who Went Boo, on here, they look like real pictures to me. They look like real animals. So I think this might be a non-fiction book. What do you think? What I could also do to have a look would be to turn around onto the back. What's this bit called at the back of a book? Does anybody know? It's called a blurb. So the blurb gives me information all about a story or about a book or text. Okay, so this one says, the Arctic and Antarctic regions of the world are full of animals looking for food to eat and trying not to be eaten themselves. This book describes the life cycles of 11 amazing animals, how they live, reproduce, and how they link with each other, with other creatures in food chains and food webs. This unique series explores Earth's key ecosystems in an ingenious yet simple way, with cunning picture clues to help keep children guessing which predator is waiting out. Does that sound like a story where there's a character like, let me think, like Goldilocks and Three Bears, when there's a little cheeky character who goes and eats all the bear's porridge? Not really. I think I'm going to learn something from this book that might be quite interesting. Now, if I turn into the book on the first page, let's have a look. Oh, I've spotted something straight away. What's this page just here? This page is the contents page. And on the contents page, it tells me all of the pages that are in this book, and it tells me what they're going to be about. I can see all the different headings of each page in here. So if I wanted to learn about polar bears, you see just there, I turn on to page 12 and I'd be able to find out that information that I needed. So let's have a turn to page 12 and let's see what we can find. And there we go. And here would be my page all about polar bears. Okay. And I can see that there's a subheading here, which tells me what the, sorry, the light's a bit funny. There we go. It tells me about it's going to be about polar bears on this page. I can see the life cycle of the polar bears and how they change. And I've got some did you know information facts there. So it says, did you know a polar bear's paws have thickly furred soles, making them non-slip on ice? Its claws are sharp and curved. So I've learned some new information there. Now, also what I can do is if I go to the back of this book, I can see that there is a glossary. And in my glossary, it tells me all about the different words that I might need to learn from this book. Okay, so it tells me all the bits of information that I need to know. So if I wanted to know what the word algae was, it says algae, plant-like living things that make their food using the sun's energy. And on the last page, I've got an index page as well. So again, if I wanted to find out about a key bit of information like algae, I could turn to page 4 and I'll be able to find out that important piece of information. Okay, so I'll put a picture of these books that I've got here, and I want you to have a sort and have a little think about which books you think might be fiction and which ones you think might be non-fiction. And see with the fiction, the non-fiction books, see if you can find out what's similar between them all. Have they all got a contents page? Have they got a subheading, a heading? Have they got an index, a glossary, a contents page? Does it give you information? Okay, and let us know how you get on. See what books you can find around the house. Okay, see you all later, guys. Bye.